Hello, everyone. Oh, hello, everyone. Sorry about that. I was listening to my voice and I kind of become a little crazy with this. Hello, everyone. It's nice to see you here. We are starting our second around the world in this warm up. It's this marvelous place where we can start to talk about the very different places when we host the Game Jam Plus. And it's really, really rich place and panel for us to discuss the diversity of backgrounds in the industry that we have and exchange this knowledge and exchange these all these opportunities and all the experiences between the participants of Game Jam Plus and also between the organizers of Game Jam Plus. Without more introductions, I really want to invite Tuta from Namibia, Margarita from Chile, and Daniela from Macedonia. So thank you everyone for being here with us. It's a really, really pleasure, and I'm really happy to have you all with us today. Three different continents, three different ecosystems and perspectives, and all of you here with one goal: support the development of video games industry and create value for the local ecosystem as organizers of Game Jam Plus. I know that Margarita is a former organizer, but we really want to see these different experiences, these different backgrounds. It's really valuable for us to understand these different perspectives from the organizers because we are talking about three continents. We are talking about three different cultures. We are talking about different opportunities for game developers, but everyone makes the same thing. We are creating games, we are creating dreams, we are creating communities of game developers. So it's all the same, but all different. And that's what we are going to discuss here right now. And of course, first of all, I want you to introduce yourselves and say, who are you? Starting with Daniela. Daniela, who are you? Oh, I need to unmute you. I think you are muted, Daniela. You need to unmute.
Hi, I'm coming from Macedonia, from an organization that for almost 10 years we are making game jams, but it is in another type of game jam. So this is our first time on Game Jam Plus, which make us, let's say, very excited and but in the same time a little bit afraid if our people are going to stay till the end because all of them are young and maybe they'll find a job, maybe they won't, maybe they'll change something, maybe they change a country. And there is excitement from starting this new thing and also excitement, are we going to succeed till the end?
Oh, that's awesome. Everything that we try to do with passion, we have this kind of feeling, afraid feeling that it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all
Yes,
success.
yes.
I would say that in the end of the day, anything that happens gonna be success. Even with one, two, three teams finishing their games, we doesn't need a lot of people concluding their projects to be a huge success. If one team at all finish their project, it's success enough because we are creating something, we're starting something. So that's great. It's lovely to have Macedonia this year with us. I think it's a very interesting country. I'm sure that not a lot of people know uh, much stuff about Macedonia, so it's a good place here also to share with people about the ecosystem, the environment of both Macedonia. So
We
it's
are 2
incredible.
million people, and for 2 million people, we have quite a large IT community. And from that large IT community, there is a good part of people that are interested in creating games. So most of them are very young. So let's say that most of them are in their 20s, and only some of them continue making games after they get in their 30s. That's very strange because somehow they're so good or so good trained from making games that other companies just take them for
For the
I don't
industry.
know, larger salaries or something like that. There is such a moment when
Oh, that
we are speaking.
no, just gonna say sorry.
Yes, there is such a moment. So we try to catch those people in their 20s and try to somehow inspire them to stay there. Of course, there are older people. There are people actually that devoted their working life on creating games, but we are still a young community with 2 million people on the country of only 2 million people.
But
and to
that's
say
enough
South
for-
country with a lot of sunshine. So
Yeah, but definitely there is a lot of talented developers out there that needs opportunity, and that's about Game Jam Plus. That needs opportunity to start from someone. I think that's a problem that you have in Macedonia, that we have in all over the places. And I will pass the word for Tuta and Margarita later. We need to make the people keep in the game industry. And these people are not standing in the game industry because we lack on opportunities for create sustainability lives from gaining money from games. So we need to create these environments for them to reach these opportunities. And that's the main point of Game Jam Plus, creating this first path for them. And I hope with Game Jam Plus and other activities, we can help to build this ecosystem in Macedonia. So I'm really, really glad to have you here today.
well, somehow I'll try to. I want people to, with this participating here, to be able to experience what does it mean to work on the world scene, or maybe to work with people from different nationalities and see the larger picture, which we can't give them with local game jams and with the local conferences. Actually, that is the truth. The world scene and the larger picture of the game development.
Oh, that's awesome! Really, really great.
Yes.
It's great. And talking about great things, I really want to introduce everybody with Tuta Leni, or a guy from Namibia, one of the most passionate and engaged organizers that we have. So please introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your role as an organizer in Namibia.
Good day, guys. It's afternoon in Namibia, so I hope everyone is well. So my name is Tutaleni Longa. I'm from Namibia, game designer, and yeah, so this is my fourth year. We're getting old now in organizing Game Jam, and we're really excited this year again to be doing Game Jam in Namibia. Hopefully, we have strong expectations that this year we're going to have more participants. It's always the aim. So we've set an aim for ourselves so there can be a certain number of games created this year, and we hope that there can be a good number of games created this year. It's so fun being part of this because we're creating history and being part of something very special as we're introducing this new market to Namibia and in every other parts of the country and every other parts of the continent. For example, we have someone from Macedonia. So yeah, and that's also cool. And we also have someone from Chile. So it's so nice to be on this panel and just be joined by a nice, diverse group of people who share the same passion as I am in this Game Jam thing.
That's great. Thank you, Tuta. And finally, Margarita, a great organizer from Chile. Please introduce yourself and talk a little bit about yourself. Oh, I think you are muted. We can hear you.
Yeah, it's. I have like a lot of systems connected, so StreamYard got confused with which microphone I was using, and it was my headphones or something. So sorry about that. But
no problem at all.
And thank you for the invitation. I organized the jam last year, and well, as a professional, I'm a production manager at Jungle Robots, which is not an actually development company, but an investment company. And we're always looking for games to invest in. And I'm also organizer of Women Game Jam, which is another great jam that we have here over Latin America and the world. And I do a lot of other things, so I don't want to like extend myself. But yeah, that would be like a resume, a small resume of the things that I do.
Oh, that's great. So we have this 3 different places around the world. We have the same goal. It's to support the games industry. But we know that we have different challenges between us. And I want to start addressing these challenges and trying to find the common points of relation between these 3 different places, and maybe to find the differences between these places. So I really want you to address with us these main challenges that your local ecosystem in the game industry face, and we can see if all of us have the same challenges, and how, in the end of the day, an event and a community like Game Jam Plus can help you to face these challenges. So I think, Tuta, you can start to talk a little bit about the game community, the game development community in Namibia, and what kind of challenges and main goals and objectives you have as a community leader in Namibia. Tuta?
Yes. So I assume your question was the sort of challenges we face in Namibia in terms of Game Jam, right?
Yes, not only in terms of Game Jam, but the whole ecosystem of game development. What kind of challenges you have?
So I think in terms of challenges that we have in Namibia, I think there is a huge challenge when it comes to finding like-minded people like me who have the same mindset to develop games and do everything that's game related. There are people who create games in Namibia, but I think there is a lack of understanding on how the game market works in general, because some people would create games and then they would just put them on Google Play or Apple Store, but then no one would find them because either the game wasn't marketed correctly, or the audience isn't in touch with the developers. So there's definitely an issue in terms of games not being not reaching out to an audience. So with this whole Game Jam thing, we're trying to sort of put a stop to that and just create an environment where people can create games, market games, and profit off games. So that's why we want to I think a few weeks from now, or I don't know, sometime this year, we want to be hosting workshops where we can just teach people what game development basically is, and what the opportunities are that you have for this, and also perhaps try networking them with people from different countries, because there's so much potential in this field, but it's not being tapped into, and I think there isn't much focus being paid to it. So what we're basically trying to do here is that we're really trying to really push it so that it can really become something that can tackle the economy, and something that people can really say, yeah, I'm going to pursue a career in this. Because I can sense that there's a large number of developers that are going in Namibia, that are venturing into gaming and all of that. But the struggles that most of them are faced with is, I think it's trying to find an audience. Most of them have their challenges. So we're really trying to fix that issue. And I think there is a significant number of improvement this year, because we're starting to get a little bit of support from the companies within. Hopefully we can have more corporate companies join in as well, because there's a huge amount of potential here. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
No, perfectly. You answered perfectly. And take it at the same point of view that one of the main struggles of community in Namibia is to reach the gamers, reach the audience, and at the same time to professionalize the industry itself, professionalize the developers itself. I want to ask for Margarita about the ecosystem in Chile. So we know that the game industry in Chile is quite more developed than the industry in Namibia. We have some established companies like Ace Team and etc. So they have launched international games and so on. But the game dev community itself, we are facing this personalization problem, and there is these challenges on how to reach the audience.
So here, as you said, we have developed games for a long time right now. I mean, it's not long compared to America or Europe, but compared to Latin America, I think it's fair long, but not that much. I think like 20 years, 15 years or so, we have been developing already. And I don't think that connecting to the audience is an issue, but retaining talent, as Daniela said before, they have like very, very much talented people here as well. We have careers and that focused on different areas of development, and usually here it's difficult to build a company that success in the future. So people, usually students build the company and they don't know how to sustain it into the future, so the company doesn't die. And sometimes what happens is that the company dies and the students that were, or the right now workers that found that company leave the country to other opportunities. Because here it's like hard to find funding, even though we have government programs and we have investors. Sometimes it's not for everyone. Not everyone gains the funds. Not everyone get the money, and so they have to start looking jobs somewhere else and not in here. So a challenge will be to make it more sustainable here in Chile. Even though we have big companies that can hire people, they can't hire the whole ecosystem, obviously. So retaining talent will be an issue. And for the communities, I think we have some kind of community management development here. We have esports, we have a lot of influencers and stuff like that. So usually companies reach to them, or you have someone that knows how to do this. And so it's how they find the audiences, or how they make the community management on their own company. But I think it's more of a money thing more than anything else.
So the access of funding is the main struggle of company.
Yeah, I think if we compare ourselves with other countries in Latin America, we are good. We have a lot of funding opportunities. But when it comes to find a publisher, when it comes to find sustainability in a long-term condition, that's a hard thing to do. Because you can find funding for one game, which is awesome, but then the next game and the next one after, that's the hard thing, like keep the machine working.
Oh, that's really, really interesting. And I want to include Daniela with our conversation because, well, you have started to talk about one of the challenges. It's about how to retain talent in the game industry, because of course the IT and the startups and the software industry are going to drag our talents and good developers from them, and the artists for all the creative industries and all this stuff, how to retain talent. But also I want to address one thing that, well, we are talking with someone from Latin America, another one from Africa, and we have this kind of mystic idea about Europe that, oh, you are in Macedonia. Macedonia is in Europe. All the opportunities and money are there. But Macedonia is not in the heart of the Europe. So
no, we are so proud that, and as a mentality, I think that we are much more closer to Latin America than to, let's say, Northern Europe. Yeah. Much more closer. And Margarita actually said everything that I wanted to say. The same issues and the same challenges that she faces or she sees in Chile, we see the same in Macedonia. How to retain a talent, how to inspire the people, and to stay longer in the game development industry, how to keep them in the country or inspire them to stay in the country. Everybody who are in the IT industry, or see them in the leadership position in some company, or see them outside of the country. So they never see them as staying, let's say, only a programmer or only a designer in a company in Macedonia, or will be a director, or they will be a programmer and designer in Sweden, in Germany, in UK, Germany a lot. I think that when we started the organization, at one moment I was feeling that we are export organization because many people were just leaving the country. We'll see a great game to some developer, even one girl, she left for Berlin. And I remember that all she wanted was to make games, and at one moment she started living in some other place.
That's
where
crazy.
she was making games. I think that we have 3 companies for which I trust. They are not large studios. One is Danish studio, one is the other 2 are Macedonian, one in Skopje, one in Bitola, which I think are holding the creativity in holding the talent, inspiring the talent to work on the game development. And there are several other outsourcing game development companies which have a larger employment than these 3, but let's say that it's outsourcing, so there is no much creativity there. There is a creativity, but still it is already ordered by somebody else.
Yeah, you are not creating the own IPs. You're not creating your own games.
Yes, it's already developed from somewhere else. The idea is coming. So yes, so we are trying to make them not only be outsourcing, but people to be creative. And another thing is that people are not making games in their free time. If they're working in some other IT industry and they want to make games, and they come to game jams, and they don't make games in their free time at home, they don't make games in other weekends, they don't try to, or very rarely, they try to create something that will be, okay, I'm doing this so I can place myself on the world market, I can place myself, I can show myself. Usually if they work something, they try to be something else, which is again for money. So I think that finances play a big role in our country.
Oh, that's really, really interesting how we are talking about 3 different continents, 2 different countries, and a lot of similar challenges for the game industry. So when you said that, okay, I'm from Macedonia, I'm pretty close with the challenges from Latin America and Chile. And there is a particular problem in Macedonia, is that it's easier for a Macedonian talent to move to Germany than Chilean talent move to Germany.
Yes, but many of our people would like to move to USA, which I think is easier for Chilean talent.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, because one of the things that I think, one of the goals of our dream with Game Jam Plus community and these statement on build local ecosystems and opportunities for every place to create games, is that, of course, we're going to have all kind of people and talents that wanted to go to US, wanted to go to Germany, but it's not about the willingness to move to another place. But if you want to stand in Macedonia or in Chile or in Namibia and create your games and earn your life as a game developer in your place, in your country, in your city, you doesn't need to move. You can create the opportunity in your place. Because one of the things that is most sad for me is that we have so much talent that feels, oh, okay, if I want to become game developer, I need to go out to Chile, from Chile. I need to go out from Macedonia. I need to go out from Namibia. I need to go to US. I need to go to Germany. It's not where I need to go. If I want to go, it's okay. We cannot make anything about it. But it's something that, okay, the only way for me to succeed in the industry is to moving out from my country. I think that's the problem. You can comment. You want to
Yeah.
comment anything, Margarita, please?
Yeah, I wanted to add to what you're saying. I think there is the hard thing of staying in your country is that you have to make your own company. There is not always someone that can hire you, and we always look up to the AAA or companies that are bigger that can hire you for doing games. Even if it is online, even if you can stay at your country. You're looking for companies outside your country that hire you, because here is not enough a big ecosystem to hire everyone that's in the development careers. So it's not like it's the only way for me, as someone said in the comments, but it's hard to make your own company. It requires a lot of sacrifices and requires a lot of time and a lot of funding. So it's hard to make your own thing, and that's why people think or believe that it's the only way to live, or it's only one way to succeed. Even though that's not true, there are a lot of other things that you can do or you can make for a successful development career, but it requires a lot of effort.
Yeah, it's required some kind of entrepreneurship spirit on create your own company, your own startup, your own group. And addressing this subject, how these Game Jam Plus event and other actions in your local ecosystem are trying to help to build this entrepreneurship spirit, because you know that create a game is very different from sell your game, to market your game. It's very different subject. It's very different talents and skills demanded for make business and investment and reach audience. Is different from programming, creating art and game design and whatever. So how to build this entrepreneurship spirit into game devs, and how Game Jam Plus is kind of helping this stuff? Anyone? Tuta, please.
Should I go next? Okay.
Please.
Is it me or Daniela? Okay. So I think the biggest issue I think in Namibia is that in the past is that we would create games and then that's just it. We would never continue further with it, because after that everyone is just busy with their own lives, doing whatever they can. So there's a huge struggle as to come back and just finish what you created, because either it's difficult to find sponsorships, or there's just no interest to like continue the idea further. So that's basically like the biggest narrative we're trying to change. Two narratives we're trying to change. The first one is that we want a large number of people to obviously sign up for Game Jam and then see how further this goes, and then hopefully help some of them work with mentors so that this pays off or this goes somewhere for them. That's one way. And then the second narrative we want to fix is that we want people to continue with this, and we obviously want to educate them as to how they should do everything and finish it up and basically work it out, so that there's at least an end product, so that they can at least have something that they can go pitch to corporates or companies and say, hey, we created this. This is how much sponsorship we need. If we can upload this on Google Play, you guys can have your company advert there, which would help the company go further. So it's always a struggle. I mean, I think it's easy to create something through Game Jam, but I think the toughest part is continuing with the product, because a lot of people, I don't know if you look at some of the game jams, they just create their stuff, and a lot of the games are just it's still just on prototype phase. It doesn't continue from there. So I think that's one of the biggest struggles that we have here.
And how about Chile?
The question was,
it's about how to create this entrepreneurship spirit into game devs, and how Game Jam Plus kind of help this.
Okay, so I think the biggest help that Game Jam Plus gives to the everyone that joins is to be able to meet people in the ecosystem, or people that have similar interests or starting a new project, but sometimes they don't find people that have the same interests. So Game Jam Plus, it's like a connection place where they can find someone that wants to make a game and they are passionate enough to keep doing it or doing this project for this time. I don't see that participating in jams, it's like it's not mandatory to keep going with the same project. For me, a game jam is a place to experiment or to try new things or to understand maybe programs or to learn things that you didn't think that you could learn. So for me, it's more of a learning stage. And a plus that Game Jam Plus have is especially the networking on the other phases of the Game Jam, that where you can pitch your game to investors, or where you can like try to do something else with the game more than just the jam. So it kind of unites these two spaces, which is really, really fun. And which was the other question? Sorry.
No, it's a little bit about that. So
Okay.
how we can create this environment that we discussed, that one of our main challenges is professionalize the industry in our ecosystems. And to professionalize the industry, we need to create new companies, because we doesn't have enough job positions for everyone that want to work with games. So the exit for this issue is create new companies for them to build and grow and consolidate and open new job positions, and we create a sustainable ecosystem. So the first point of all of this is that, well, we doesn't have enough jobs right now to embrace everyone that wants to work with games. So we need to create these new companies, these new game studios. And for create these new game studios, we need to foster this entrepreneurship spirit. And to foster this entrepreneurship spirit, one of the actions that we are creating is Game Jam Plus. So it's a little bit about that discussion that I want to address, and I think you talked perfectly about that. And I really want to because you had experience organizing a Game Jam Plus in the past, but we're gonna have the first Game Jam Plus in Macedonia. So I want that Daniela said about the expectations of the outputs of this kind of action.
Okay, I have actually two answers. One is what is the benefit from going on a game jam? When we had a game jam for the first time, it was 2013, I think, was Global Game Jam, and almost nobody knew anybody, or only few groups knew. Or there were only, let's say, not studios, but a group of students, they were making games, but nobody knew the other groups. And the good thing was that people who were alone in this, let's say, idea, and the others that were small teams could finally find somebody else, meet somebody else. Then we were making like meetings at the cafe or for a beer or something like that. So people knew each other better. But since we are still a small community, and in 2-3 years, these, let's say, meetings kept finished and were complete. So on the following game jams, when new people would come, they will already come as a part of a team, or they would rarely come alone. And this let's meet somebody new didn't become so well. It's such a small scene that it wasn't something that was going to happen. This what should happen in the Game Jam Plus is actually that thing, that people will finally again meet somebody new and see how somebody else is thinking. Because when that first time happened in Macedonia, we were like, wow, we didn't know that we started something at that moment. And we hope that this time people will get inspired again on the same day and say, okay, now I'm making team, but not with only with Macedonians, but with somebody from South America or from Asia or from Africa, and that would be actually the good thing. The other thing which I find, which I saw in the last years, is that if you want people to get really interested, not only in game jams, but what is behind that, and that's the whole game industry, you have to catch them or get them into the game jams when they're in the last 2 years of high school or the first year of university. They haven't decided still that they what they wanted really to do in the IT. Many of them were gamers before, so now they see that there is something beyond gaming. And the other thing is that they still haven't started to earn money, because once they start to earn money, it's very hard to take them back in the industry that is not that profitable as telecommunication, for example. So yes, young people and meeting new people, that's actually the answer how to succeed in game jams.
Oh, that's really, really great, because we need to create this environment. Game jam is a point of meeting people, and you addresses this really important subject. So if you doesn't know anyone in the industry, how to start, and in a game jam, it's a very good place for you to know people, meet people, experience how one team. So and it's great place where if you want to commit in a longer project, 12-month project with someone, but you doesn't know if this specific programmer, artist, or whatever, it's good enough, or the personalities are compatible or something like that, experience a game jam with this partner. It's a good point of departure to see if it's a good person to commit in a 12-month project or something. So even for more experienced teams, game developers and indie game teams that it's all there 5 years in the market, if you are starting a new project, testing this project with a team inside the game jam environment, it's less risky than for 3 months, 5 months commitment, and see that you are not compatible with that partner. So I think it's one of the things that game jams can provide to us. And now I want to enter a little bit more into the motivation of the organizers itself, because we have 3 different backgrounds here. Margarita, Daniela, Tuta, you are all different. You make different things from each other, but all of you decided to commit with the same thing, that is to organize a game jam, is to lead your communities, to create activities for your communities. What inspired you to being a volunteer? Because it's important to say, any one of you are gain any money from this experience. You are all volunteers. So why in the world you decided to volunteer for this kind of stuff? What is the motivation? What is the passion behind you to decide to commit with this challenge? I think we can start with Margarita.
Okay, thank you. Well, this is not the only jam that I organize. Sadly, this year I won't be able to organize because I'm really full with other stuff. I didn't have the time to commit to it. But one of the things that really inspires me to organize this kind of jams or organize this kind of things is like you are forging a way to the future. You are inviting people to understand that they can work in video games, which is a passion that all of us share. And everyone that has played any game has at some point get in love with it. I mean, if you started playing, and then you realize you're a gamer or sorts, then you realize that you are entering into a really creative environment, a really a good place where you can like do whatever you imagine. If you have the time and the money to it, you can try to build whatever story you want to tell, which is really amazing. So being involved with people that had a lot of passion and they have this side of the future where they can build or they can tell stories or they can do, I don't know, they can try new things. It's really inspirational. So it's also a really good thing to build communities. When you find people that you have the same interest with, then you find them in other events, and then you find them again in other stuff, and then you start inviting them to the things that you are organizing as well. So it's a really it's like building networks from the start. These people is just joining the industry, and then 10 years later you're going to see them succeed, hopefully, and you can say, oh my God, I was part of their journey, and that's a really amazing thing.
That's great. And you, Tuta, what made you to decide to commit with this crazy volunteer work? It's organize game jams and create actions for a local community.
Well, I saw it as a great opportunity to introduce a new field in my country. Maybe it has been introduced by someone before, but I don't think it has been introduced at an international level where people are kind of paying attention and say, oh, so there is something in Namibia called Game Jam that tries to create game development and all of that. So for me, it's about creating legacy and leaving something behind for people to take over it and just take it to the next level. So it's more like building foundations, and hopefully someone will come and continue to build what we are starting. So yeah, I like, and it's also a very challenging field. It's one of those where it's challenging, it's complicated, but it's fun, and it's extremely difficult, just to navigate towards it, because you're basically introducing something that's considered an extinct field, like it doesn't exist. So it's always nice to see people look at you and say, ooh, so there is such thing called game development. It does exist. So because I think people do play a lot of games like FIFA, PES, and all the other stuff, but they tend to forget that there are people behind it who created. So this pushes it to the next level. And so yeah, for me, it's about creating legacy and starting something, and it's like a fresh of breath air to just be in this field and to also network with different people from different countries who share minds like us.
That's really, really great. And Daniela, what inspires you?
Well, I can tell you, I want to promote my country. I want to work for the young people or to help them. And that's always true. But there is such a magic when you are going on a game jam. And I guess that all of you have noticed that all that have participated on some game jams, such a boom of creative energy that I think that there is nothing that can replace that weekend or those moments when you see so many people creating so fast, rushing to put the ideas on paper, on screen, and it's magic. Actually, I like game jams just because of that.
Oh,
Besides the other things, this is actually the main thing that keeps me to game jams. This magic somehow.
And this magic, it's great. All of you were talking about this passion and this magic about helping each other and to provide value for the next person. And it's great how we can see a lot of people around the world willingness to spend time and share knowledge and share your passion with others and try to, as Tuta said, I loved it, create legacy. So creating this legacy with others and looking for this impact in medium long term is one of the most passionate things about Game Jam Plus and the community of Game Jam Plus. But not only Game Jam Plus, but all the actions you are doing beside Game Jam Plus in your local communities. And I want to address a little bit about this legacy, but there is some things that you benefit from being organizers. Like you are creating a highlight for you are meeting new people, you are creating network. So I really want you to tell me a little bit about what you are gaining from being organizer. So if there is someone in some country, in some city around the world that is not yet sure if it's a good thing to organize a game jam, what kind of advice you would give to these people to say, oh, it's good, come with me, it's a good thing to do?
Best party ever. So don't miss it.
Best party ever. It's a good point of, yeah.
That's what Game Jam is. And this should be a prolonged party after that.
That's great. Tuta?
Just to repeat what you just said.
Yes,
Catch it.
if you give one advice for someone that is thinking on to organize a game jam but is not sure yet if it's a good thing, so what kind of advice you would give to this person?
Well, my advice I would give is that you'll get a recommendation letter and a reference letter in case you're worried and say, will this pay off? So at least you'll be gaining some experience, and you'll also be, there's also opportunity for networking, because look at how many people I network with today just based on this panel, because I got to learn a little bit more about Daniela and Margarita, but I've known a lot about Pedro. So yeah, so you get to really network and get to meet all sorts of people as well. So that's what I can kind of say.
That's great. And how about you, Margarita?
I think that when you organize anything, when you organize a party, when you organize a game jam, when you organize an event, there is a really fulfilling thing when people is enjoying the event that you did. They are like having fun, meeting people, saying thank you to you for something that you willingly did for free, and you feel like really, really warm. You get this feeling that what you are doing is helping someone, is making them learn something, making them meet someone, or I don't know, make them realize, oh my God, there is a company that I could build, or there is a networking thing that I didn't know of. You are opening doors for them that they didn't know that they were available for them. So it's like, even if you don't gain money off it, you will gain a lot of experience, you will gain a lot of networking, as Tuta said, but you also will get this feeling of fulfillment that nothing else can give you, I think.
That's really great. I really love this community. So the warmth of this community, and one thing that it's kind of unique in the game industry, the willingness of sharing knowledge and contacts and network and help each other. We are seeing here in this warm-up event so many experienced developers and entrepreneurs giving their time to open their experience and giving tips and ideas and suggestions for those who are entering in the industry. So it's a really warm ecosystem and industry that it's really, really better than work in IT or in film industry. So if you are in some these other sectors, come to the game industry. It's a very warm place to be. Of course, we have a lot of issues, problems also as any industry, but I think it's something of the uniqueness of the indie game dev community is this willingness to share, to help, to provide this infrastructure, and those who already pass some challenges are willing to open the paths for those who are entering now in this industry. So it's really, really great to work. And we are seeing 3 continents, people in Chile, Macedonia, Namibia, and other 28 countries around the world here in Game Jam Plus with the same objective. So it's all over the world. There is people wanting to help and open the path for the success for young game developers. And that's one of the most interesting things. Well, we are going to
yes, I just wanted to add something.
Please.
I mean, very similar to what you said. This year, it was not our idea, but I'm glad that I read that on our WhatsApp group, and that was Israeli organizer. He and greetings to him now. He asked if somebody wants to mix with his group, because they're a small group and would like to share experience during the first phase. And when I read it, I just said to myself, I hope that this is still available. So I said, yes, we will like to do it. And actually, this is one thing that will give us the experience, international experience from the very beginning. And this is something that we look forward, and something that I hope that we will see it for Macedonia in other events that we make, because in Global Game Jam we mix with the countries before the event, and then when the event starts we are alone.
That's great. And well, I hope that I can personally meet every place over the world, go to Macedonia, go to Namibia, go to Chile, and meet the people. And that's one of the wonderful things about this event, is meet people, especially online. We have this opportunity. We have seen in this sad pandemic how we can connect online with others, and how we can save it. Can save us with this online connection in terms of community and all this stuff. So it's really, really great, Daniela. And we are ending our time. We need to finish this panel. It's a sad thing, because for me, it's been a great conversation, a great discussion here. And I want to give some space for final thoughts from you, especially in terms of what do you desire for the future of your local community? What's your goal and dream for your community? I think Tuta can start.
I'll just say more signups, and hopefully people can profit off this, and they can go further with this and keep putting us on the map more.
That's great. Daniela?
Well, about Macedonia, I like to see people not only being engaged in game industry. Okay, it's good they go in foreigner companies that work in Macedonia, that make games, they learn there. But at one moment, I want to see their ideas, their personal projects or their group projects, which are original. And that's what I would like to see in Macedonia, more original projects. And it's no matter if they're working from Macedonia or working from another place with Macedonia, just to be original, because somehow the whole game industry always needs reinventing.
That's all wonderful. That's wonderful. And you, Margarita?
I think for them to find a path in the video games industry, since they are all new to the video games, they don't know which careers to follow or where to focus. I hope everyone that joins the jam can understand where they can fit better and how and feel better working, and find a place where they think this is fulfilling for me. This is what I want to do with my life. And even if it's not in this country, they find somewhere to do it.
That's marvelous. So, well, I really want to thank you all, Daniela, Margarita, Tuta. It was wonderful to talk with you. I really learned a lot, and I know that anyone that watched us live or recorded in YouTube have learned and enjoyed this conversation. And well, thank you. And if you are saying that, keep tuned, because we have a lot of really good panels and content in Warm-Up Game Jam Plus event. And if you are trying to decide if you are go to attend Game Jam Plus in 8 to 10 to October, stop thinking. Take your ticket, go to the closest venue for Game Jam Plus, or you can, it's be online, so you can participate in Macedonia, you can participate in Namibia, you can participate in a lot of online venues in Game Jam Plus this year. So don't lose your time. You can get this opportunity for you, and you can keep following Warm-Up event. So thank you again, Tuta, Daniela, Margarita. It was nice, and keep tuned. Goodbye, everyone.
Okay, bye-bye.